Canadian Conservative leader Andrew Scheer has a new video out about free speech. Watch.
I believe freedom of speech is coming under attack because sometimes it is inconvenient to certain people. Certain people who have a political agenda don't even want there to be a debate about certain things. Sometimes things are said that others disagree with, and sometimes it is maybe offensive or hurts other people's feelings. But that doesn't mean that we can justify to curtail or limit or infringe upon such a fundamental freedom. Freedom of speech to me is one of the backbone freedoms. Many other freedoms are in danger if freedom of speech doesn't exist. If we don't have the freedom of speech, do we really have freedom of expression? If we don't have freedom of speech, do we really have freedom of religion if we're not able to speak about the things we believe in? So we have to guard that one. Do we have freedom of the press if we don't have freedom of speech? So the government can play a role in protecting that and promoting it. The federal government does fund universities when it comes to research grants. And as the Liberals have done, they've said that they would prioritize funding to universities that achieve certain targets for gender balance. I've said I would use the same principle and prioritize funding for universities that promote and protect free speech, that don't use the excuse of a group of radical protesters to shut down events, who don't threaten and harass teaching assistants who may have had the audacity to play a video with both sides of a debate currently under discussion in our society.
I'm so over this fake debate around free speech. Nobody is coming to take your free speech. Nothing the Liberals have done is suppressing free speech. And look, I'm not even a Liberal voter. I'm just giving you the facts. This is all a fake debate. This is all nothing. Yet, this is a topic that the Conservatives in Canada and in other countries have tried to latch onto, to try and, excite the base with, but really as a way to distract from real issues. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But some things I want to touch on here. Some of these quotes. Certain things. Oh, people get angry about certain things and things are being said. What things? What things? Give me examples. What things? The whole video is so vague. It's just all a fucking ploy. How do you not see this? I mean, I hope people that are watching this understand this, but if you watch that and we're like, yeah, Andrew Scheer, he's got it. Stop and think for a second. What the hell is he talking about? Oh, college campuses. People are protesting on college campuses. Do you know how minor this issue is? And by the way, progressives like me are on your side. I also think there shouldn't be protesting of speakers on college campuses. But if they protest, that's also part of free speech. Do you understand that? If you protest a speaker, that protest is also free speech. So you are allowed to have your free speech, but you are not free from reaction to your free speech. This is very basic, very simple, very simple topic that I hope people get. But people apparently in general, or at least conservatives, don't seem to understand this. Now, there are also some the weird hand close-ups. Like, what was that about? So I took video production. Those kinds of cuts are there to have other cuts. So Andrew Scheer likely screwed up while he was talking, and they cut to a shot of his hands or cut to a shot of the back of his head to cover up those cuts. So I would love to see the shots that were cut out of that. But I mean, this is just simply a continuation of a debate that Maxime Bernier started last week. So Maxime Bernier also ran for conservative leadership. He ultimately lost to Andrew Scheer last year. But Maxime Bernier had this big Twitter rant about how Canadian culture is under attack, and it was just all a bunch of hot air. And then he tweets this out this weekend, which is pretty funny. I hereby officially declare the death of political correctness in Canada. And then he includes the French version of the tweet. So this is a politically correct bilingual tweet saying that he is now declaring the death of political correctness, even though even though in this tweet he is being politically correct. These guys are total losers. This is embarrassing. If you are a conservative voter, if you support either of these morons, you should be embarrassed. So, as I was saying earlier, this is all a fake war, and this is a tweet that I got in response that I think paints it perfectly. So this is from Jesse. It's all about distraction to push forward more privatization and wealth transfers to the richest. Exactly. This is simply a distraction from actual issues. And Tom Parkin, who writes for the Toronto Sun, also broke this down. Liberals and Tories use identity issues to distract from their failings. 100%. That's what this is all about. They focus on these cultural issues. Like I said, I'm not a liberal voter either. So Trudeau is very focused on gender equality, which, look, that's fine. I think gender equality should be a topic that's discussed. But to make that the focus of everything that you do is a little absurd. To not talk about how wages aren't increasing, to not talk about the insane amount of student debt that people have, to not do anything to address the opioid epidemic, to not do anything to address the cost of housing or rent, but instead focus simply on cultural issues, it's all a distraction. Both the Liberals and the Tories are doing it. And I hope it's obvious to most people, but unfortunately it's not. So I have to do videos like this where I'm laughing at an idiot like Andrew Scheer because, look, I shouldn't even call him an idiot. He knows what he's doing. He knows very well that this is a tactic used to try and excite the conservative base while distracting them from actual issues. So understand that if you're a conservative voter, understand what Andrew Scheer is doing here. The Liberals or anybody else are not trying to take away your free speech. It's all a tactic used to distract you from actual issues while they continue to give money to the richest people in Canada.